So the large red brick building in front of me there is Love Lane Garage, situated in Love Lane, hence the name Love Lane Garage, just off the High Street in Denbigh, North Wales. Now then, this is where I grew up. This is where I grew up as a kid. My tide, which is my grandfather and my father. In Wales, you don't have a grandfather and you don't have a grandmother, you have a nine and a tide. This is where I grew up. My tide, my father used to run the garage, used to live in the flat above. There's the front door, and that was the showroom, the old garage and the attic. And that, which I'll tell you a bit later, that was the paint shop. Now, it was originally run by Williams Brothers, established in 1858, and they were coach builders. Someone banging on this door behind me, I think. They were coach builders, and they used to make coffins as well, of high quality coach builders. Get on the side here. So yeah, that was the garage. Like I say, that's the flat. That was my bedroom there, and there's a room at the back, the living room. There's a front room, we used to call it, the back there, and the kitchen led on to the old garage. As I say, that was the front door, and the address is 6A Love Lane. But yeah, it was originally run by the Williams Brothers, coach builders and coffin makers. They were established in 1858, and this is where they actually used to make the coaches and stuff like that. And I remember as a kid, up in the top part there, as I say, it's on 3 levels, was all the parts, there was lanterns, there was coach parts, stuff like that. There was oak barrels and everything. And when we were kids, we used to make dens and stuff like that there. And here, this side here, as I say, it's on 3 levels. There's 2 big trapdoors used to open up. And there's a winch on top, and it's a lower down onto this section, which we used to call the old garage. And then here, there's another big massive trapdoor used to open up, and then used to lower down onto the ground level. So yeah, as I say, they were very high quality coach builders. And at the back there's a slope leading down, and just to the right was the smithy. Now, Williams Brothers, they used to employ blacksmiths, painters, carpenters, wheelwrights, all sorts of tradespeople. And as I say, just down the bottom there to the right was the smithy. There was 2 furnaces there, one massive one and one bit smaller one, and there was an anvil. I remember this, like I say, as a kid. I grew up here. This is where I grew up as a kid. And there was horseshoes and hammers, and there's 2 anvils, one massive one and one smaller one, and like I say, a big furnace and a smaller furnace. There was all the blacksmith's tools and stuff like that were all there, still there, all hanging on the walls and all stuff like that. And just at the very back, leading, you can get to it from here, or you can get to it from the bottom there to the left. There was a door leading out, and there's a garden, big garden at the back. And of a Sunday afternoon, I used to go out there and used to dig cod neck bottles or cod bottles. And if you're not sure what a cod bottle is, I'll just give you a quick look at what a cod bottle is. So that's a cod bottle, and there's a little marble. They date back to, I think they were invented in 1872. They were for carbonated drinks, and they had a little marble in them and a little washer, and the marble was held up against the washer by the pressure of the carbonated whatever drink was in the bottle, and that's how they used to seal the bottle, and they were called cod bottles. And I used to go out there, like I say, when I was a kid, a Sunday afternoon, and on eBay they're selling, because they are fairly rare, they sell for about 100 quid each, if not more. And I used to dig them up. I used to have a big box full of them. I can't remember how many I had, 30, 40, 50 or what have you. But I used to dig them out. Like I say, they were called cod bottles. And like I said, they are quite fairly rare if you look them up. Because what used to happen with them, and kids used to find them or use them, or to open them, by the way, you used to just push the marble, little glass marble, in back, and it used to drop into the bottle, and that's how you used to open the bottle. And they were called cod bottles. Like I said, they were invented in 1872, and there's loads of them. Well, I used to find loads of them. And what happened to them, I have no idea, I can't remember. But I always remember I used to dig them up, and there was a big box full of them. So they're worth an actual fortune now, but what happened to them, I have no idea. So yeah, and yeah, like I say, they're quite rare because the kids used to smash the bottles to get the marble. So that's why they are fairly rare. There's not many, you know, of these cod bottles left. Because the kids used to break the bottles just to get the marble. It's not marble really, well, it was a marble I suppose, a glass, little glass bowl. That's what we used to use to seal. So yeah, I used to dig them out. So yeah, like I say, and that was the Brit, that's the Britannia Inn now, that was the paint shop. That was part of Williams Brothers. And my tide, my grandfather, he worked for Williams Brothers. He was born in 1899 and he worked for Williams Brothers. And at the very end of this video I'll show you there's a car parked here and the Williams Brothers are standing out the back of the car, which I'll explain that in a bit later. But yeah, he worked for Williams Brothers, like I say, they're coach builders, and they used to make coffins. And when they died off, there was not many of them left, and they were retiring and giving the business up. They gave it to him. They gave all the builders the whole lovely garage and said, you can have it, you know, take it over, do whatever you want with it. So they gave him all this lot here and all this lot here, but not which was the paint shop, which is the Britannia Inn now. And that was Hetty Haywood's. It was after the Williams Brothers. It was a furniture shop. Hetty Haywood used to own it, and I remember as a kid I used to play hide and seek in there. And one day I sneaked in, I was hiding behind the furniture, and she just got up and she went out, locked the door and went home for a dinner, and I was locked in there for an hour. She used to live up Love Lane, a bit higher up, and yeah, I was locked in. I always remember that. I had to wait there for an hour. An hour later she came back, opened the door, and then I sneaked back out. So like I say, that's the Britannia Inn, it is now, but it was the paint shop, and it was Hetty Haywood's. So yeah, that's a bit of a history of the, they call it the carriage works now, but as I say, that was the showroom, we called it. That was the old garage, and up the top there was the attic, and that's where all the main parts of the coaches and stuff, as I say, there was all the parts. There was lanterns and oak barrels and stuff, but they were all empty. I don't know what the oak barrels contained, but when we were kids we used to go up there, you know, like I say, this is where I grew up. We used to make dens, we used to build dens out of the old car parts and coach parts and stuff like that. So at the end now I will show you an old photo dating back to 1904, which my tide, or grandfather, he was doing 5 years old when this photo was taken. And it's roughly somewhere about like that, and where this car here is now, there's an old car, and you'll see some of the workers this side of the car, and at the rear of the car are Williams Brothers themselves. Like I say, it's dated to 1904, so the back here, if you look at the back here, that's where those are the Williams Brothers themselves. So that's it. So that's the Love Lane Garage, Denbigh, North Wales, originally Williams Brothers coach builders. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.